The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, the Triangle of Death, and other names, is a region of the western North Atlantic, roughly limited by imaginary lines drawn between Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and Florida's tip. It has become famous for the strange disappearances of innumerable planes and ships, including 2 nuclear submarines. Could it be caused by aliens? What about ghost ships? If you have the guts, keep watching as we look at the top 10 weirdest things found in the Bermuda Triangle. Number 10. True North. The Bermuda Triangle is one of only 2 sites on the planet where a compass points true north instead of magnetic north. Ships and planes could end up way off course if this compass variation or mistake is not corrected for. Compasses are said to point to the true north rather than the magnetic north due to the mysterious seas. This, according to theorists, explains why so many ships and planes have vanished. Even Christopher Columbus mentions strange compass bearings in the areas in his writings. According to legend, the seas are located above an imaginary agonic line, where true north and magnetic north are perfectly aligned. The magnetic North Pole lies 1,200 miles south of the geographic North Pole and is continually moving. The agonic line is progressively drifting westward, creating magnetic declination. The data implies that lost boats and planes were lost owing to human error, with incorrect compass readings being overlooked. Number 9. Deepest spot on Earth. Indeed, the area's undersea terrain could be a factor in the region's history of disappearances. It transitions from a gently sloping continental shelf to a very steep gorge. In the Bermuda Triangle, some of the world's deepest pits may be found. Ships or planes sinking into these deep ditches are unlikely to be discovered, but there is always that possibility. Has anyone ever gone that deep to check it out? Maybe there are a few ships there that disappeared a long time ago. Before we go on, like this video, pop the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell right now, or the ghost in your closet will manifest itself tonight. Number 8. Methane gas. Scientists have discovered significant volumes of methane gas trapped in the ocean floor as a result of rotting sea creatures. The methane freezes into super concentrated ice, and if a pocket ruptures, the gas surges to the surface and erupts without warning. If a ship is near a blowout, the water beneath it will become significantly less dense. It could sink, and when it settles to the floor, sediment could swiftly cover it. That sounds like a plausible cause for objects disappearing, but I'm sure there have been many expeditions that searches the ocean floor without finding anything. Number 7. Rogue waves. Rogue, freak, or killer waves have been part of marine folklore for generations, but scientists have only recently recognized them as real. Rogues, also known as severe storm waves, are waves that are larger than twice the size of surrounding waves, are highly unpredictable, and frequently arrive from directions other than the prevailing winds and waves. Most descriptions of strong storm waves describe them as walls of water. They're frequently steep-sided, with deep dips. Due to the rarity of these waves, measurements and investigations of these events are exceptionally rare. This type of events could happen in the Bermuda Triangle. Storms can originate from the north or south, from across the Atlantic, or from the Caribbean's Hurricane Alley. There are a lot of tropical storms passing through the area, and the south end of the triangle, you get the tail end of those approaching hurricane strength. Also, the Bahamas are prone to small hurricanes, which can result in disappearances. Many people wonder if the Bermuda Triangle exists. The theory behind it is that yes, there are some rough seas there, but it's also an area where a lot of people don't really know where they're going. Number 6. Electronic fog. The Hutchison effect. The gray clouds above the water, a type of electronic fog that appears and disappears quickly, can engulf a ship or plane totally by accident. When Canadian scientist John Hutchison investigated the causes of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle, he discovered electronic fog. This phenomenon develops in mid-air and totally swallows a ship or plane, much like the gray cloud of electromagnetic fields that forms in the ocean. Bruce Gernon, a veteran pilot, was engulfed by an elliptical cloud in 1870, as if he were trapped in a sky tunnel. The cloud steadily rotated and spiraled in an anti-clockwise fashion at an altitude of more than 3,000 meters. He began to experience a lack of control over the navigation system and a sense of zero gravity. Thankfully, the crowd disintegrated on Miami Beach, which is part of the Bermuda Triangle. Experienced pilot Jensen reported becoming disoriented in the cloud more than 45 meters above the ground, according to another event documented in the Bermuda Triangle. At such a low altitude, the cloud has caused little cause to form. After 11 hours absence, his voice was heard 965 kilometers from the initial reported location. Then he vanished again, leaving no trace. When a ship or aircraft encounters air bombs in the sky, the electronic fog moves in the direction of the ship or aircraft, causing all equipment systems to malfunction and perform inexactly, according to the recorded reports. Finally, the vehicle may become lost since it is unable to detect its direction. Number 5. The Bimini Road. The Bimini Road is an underwater rock formation off the coast of North Bimini, a Bahamian island located in the Bermuda Triangle. The path is about 18 feet below the surface of the water. The lane, which runs northeast-southwest, is straight for about half a mile before curving into a graceful hook. Two smaller linear rock formations parallel the Bimini Road and tend to be identical in nature. The limestone blocks that make up the Bimini Road are often rectangular in form. Most of them seem to have been cut at right angles when they were first discovered, but time underwater has weathered them into a rounded form. The main roadblocks are 10 to 13 feet long and 7 to 10 feet high, while the two side roadblocks are smaller but evenly spaced. The larger blocks tend to be grouped in size order and lined up with each other. Some of them tend to be stacked, and if they were placed there on purpose. Given the road's position and eerily perfect shape, many Atlantis believers and even a few archaeologists claim it may be a path to Atlantis. Some believers claim the path is just the tip of the Atlantean iceberg. Could the Bimini Road lead to some of Bermuda's Triangle's disappearances? Number 4. Ships gone missing. It's impossible to say how many ships and planes have vanished in the Bermuda Triangle. The most prevalent estimate is about 50 ships and 20 planes. The debris of numerous ships and planes reported missing in the area has yet not to be found. It's unclear whether disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle were caused by human error or natural disasters. The SS Cotopaxi set sail from Charleston, South Carolina on November 29, 1925, with a cargo of coal and a crew of 32. The ship set for Havana, Cuba, but 2 days later, struck afoul of a tropical storm building near the Bermuda Triangle and vanished. A team of shipwreck hunters claims to have finally identified the wrecked boat's wreckage off the coast of St. Augustine, Florida, nearly a century later, putting it to rest decades of tales, ghost stories, and maritime lore that naturally arose at the time. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops, one of the Navy's largest fuel ships, is the single greatest loss of life in US Navy history. This enormous ship started sail from Brazil to Baltimore through the Bermuda region on March 1918, carrying 10,800 tons of manganese ore and 309 crew members. The first and only communication transmitted by the ship, which set sail on a very decent day, reported that there were no problems. Number 3. Planes go missing. The Bermuda Triangle, despite its notoriety, does not have a high rate of disappearances. The Bermuda Triangle does not have a higher rate of disappearances than any other comparable location of the Atlantic Ocean. US military aircraft were involved in at least 2 incidents in the region. The collier USS Cyclops vanished inside the Bermuda Triangle in March 1918, en route from Brazil to Baltimore, Maryland. There was no reason for its disappearance, and no wreckage was discovered. A squadron of bombers known as Flight 19 and led by American Lieutenant Charles Carroll Taylor vanished in the skies above the Bermuda Triangle 27 years later. No explanation was given and no wreckage was discovered, as was the case with the Cyclops incidents. Number 2. UFO sightings. The area has one of the greatest rates of UFO sightings, with extraterrestrial abductions being a prevalent theory for the disappearances. However, abductions aren't the only theory. Some people believe it's a portal to another world. Anything is possible and aliens are not out of the question. Just because there's no proof, it doesn't mean they don't exist. Maybe they're just being discreet. Number 1. Ghost ships. The legends of seafaring ghost ships or phantom ships has been passed down through the centuries by sailors, fishermen, and others and are full of mystery, horror, and ambiguity. These enigmatic ships are imagined to be special phantasms that arrive during the sea and vanish abruptly, which is thought to be a terrible omen. The category also includes abandoned ships that have been discovered drifting, abandoned under ominous and enigmatic circumstances. Even though they are all nautical stories with varying degrees of veracity, some of these haunted ships continue to arouse curiosity and terrified expectation. Due to the entire mystery surrounding its abandonment, the Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted commercial schooner, is one of the most written about maritime mysteries of the 20th century. Carroll A. Deering was discovered around the dangerous rocks of Hatteras Diamond Shoals, North Carolina on January 31, 1921. Rumors circulated that the ship was involved in rum running. However, after days of labor in the harsh sea, the Barbados investigative team discovered an abandoned ship with all crew members missing, as well as the crew's personal items, navigational equipment, logbooks, and life rafts, among other things. The disappearance of Carol A. Deering, along with few other vessels in the Bermuda Triangle area during the same time, has provided significant information on the enigmatic seas, but nothing has brought anyone closer to solving the riddle. Are any of these theories true? It doesn't matter, because the concept of fear has been instilled in most people's minds. My favorite has to be the electronic fog, which makes the most sense. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our look at the top 10 weirdest things found in the Bermuda Triangle. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.